Hello?
Hello, Jane. How are you?
What do you want?
I want to know what it's like being back with your husband, your old job, all your old friends.
These new tattoo cases, you're trying to take us down with them, aren't you?
This new person you've become, you refuse to see the bad in anyone.
Oh, so you're doing this to protect me?
No. You betrayed me, sis. I'm doing this to make you bleed.
There's not a day I don't think about you. About what happened between us. I live with my guilt and the pain of where we are. I'm already hurting.
You don't know the meaning of the word. But you will. And I'm gonna enjoy every minute of watching you suffer.
Hey, guys.
Luke, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on season 3 of Blindspot.
Thank you very much.
How far into filming the show are you right now?
We just finished episode 12.
So like the first half is wrapped.
Yeah, we're over halfway. Crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's and how labor intensive is this show for you?
Not at all this season. It's fantastic. Everyone hates me because I've got the leisurely schedule. I've had this entire week off, and Sully and Jamie have been working their asses off. So
you show up on set when they're working their asses off just to kind of say hi. Hey guys, how things going?
No, I like to text them pictures of myself enjoying my life. No, that's not true.
Yeah, you've actually been able to travel around a little bit in this season, right? Roman's on the move.
I have, which also just helps for the hate that the characters have to feel towards me, because I mean, apart from Venice, we shot the first episode of the season in Venice, and then after that, the producer sent me to Barcelona and then Marrakesh, and we did a little bit in Sydney. So
what do you think of Marrakesh?
It was a fascinating place. It was somewhere I'd never been to before. I hadn't really done much research, and it really kind of blew my mind. The people were so lovely. I can't spoil too much about where exactly we shot, but just some incredible locations. Obviously, if you're going to travel internationally, you got to make the most of the location shoot.
Did you get to go, I mean, not in terms of shooting or the character, but did you get to go into the sort of main bazaar area, the
Yes.
center area?
Yes.
It's pretty amazing,
yes,
right?
I saw a real-life cobra for the first time, and it scared the crap out of me.
Did they put it on you? Sometimes they'll do that. They'll throw it on you and then be like $10.
No, I kept my distance. I didn't.
I got that. I had a snake on me all of a sudden, and it was like $10 to get it off. It's like, I'll give you 20. Get it off of me.
Yeah. I mean, they've got to be defanged, right? Because I saw someone walk straight past, and the snake kind of like was up, and it went for this person. Didn't get them, but I was like, the people didn't freak out at all. So I'm like, there must be no danger.
Oh, did you eat escargot while you were in Marrakesh as well? In the bazaar, there's all these guys that have tubs of snails.
No.
And if you go back, it's really good.
Well, I've had escargot before, and I just feel like I don't need to do that
Never
again.
from a street vendor.
No, not from a street vendor.
You're not living until you risk food poisoning with escargot from a street vendor.
Well, I'll take your word for it.
So Roman this season is looking to be like our sort of big villain. Like he's sort of taken the reins from some of the other villains in past seasons and is now the guy.
Yes, I can see how that viewpoint might come about. Roman's doing some very nasty things, but really he just needs a lot of love.
So is there good in Roman left?
I mean, I have to believe so because I portray him. So it's very difficult to play someone without an ounce of love, I think. So yeah, I think absolutely underneath all the pain and the hurt and the suffering, there is a little bit of love.
But all the villains on this show, going back to the first season, they're ideological villains. So in many ways, they believe what they're doing is the right thing to do. So maybe they are wrong in some capacity, but they believe they're doing the right thing for whoever they're working for.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, look, absolutely.
Roman's bent on vengeance, though.
Absolutely. He's hurting very, very badly, and he wants his sister to feel even an ounce of that pain. So that's part of it. But he doesn't want to kill her. He had ample opportunity to do that. So it's more about causing pain.
Kill the ones around her.
Maybe. Cause psychological pain.
Weird that I thought that like that. I knew that that's what a villain would do. Sorry. Yeah. So kill the ones around. Yeah, I know that. I know that tactic.
Inside the mind. Yeah.
So what is it like, sort of having Roman as a character that has turned in different ways season to season? You know, after he was sort of his memory was taken away, and then his memory came back. He becomes kind of a different person in many ways. What is that like portraying that as an actor?
Totally, so much fun. I mean, it's really a dream role for me. When I signed on in season 2, Martin sat me down and gave me this character arc that I thought was phenomenal. And then that played out the way it did, and I thought at the time that they literally threw the kitchen sink at me. I was like, what more could this guy go through? And I honestly thought they were going to kill me off at the end of last season. I'm very glad they didn't.
What is that like to be on a show and to not know if you're going to be killed off? Do you ask, hey, what are you guys planning? Do you poke and try to get some clues, or do you just hang back and...
I don't know if you want to tempt it. I don't know if you want to tempt fate. I don't know. I think that, there's a small part of you that's, when there's a writer on set, you're like, so what's coming up soon? What's the next couple of episodes? How far ahead have you written?
Can you imagine turning to one of them and be like, you're not going to kill me off, are you? Like, we weren't, but that's actually a great idea.
Yeah, that'll work out really well for the story. The last show that I did was a little bit like that. I was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they kind of teased that a main character was going to die during the season, which was season 3. And I was like, oh wow, this is kind of big. And then I was looking around at the cast, and I was like, oh crap, I think it might be me.
What made you think it was you?
I was just on the outer in terms of the storyline. I just felt like I was the more dispensable one, really. And it turns out I was.
Well, often, I mean, when it comes to TV shows, the one that is dispensable or the one that they're going to kill off is what they've been setting up to sort of put on the out a little bit. Sort of ease the pain for the audience, I think.
Sure, yeah.
You sort of noticed that?
A little bit. I mean, it was tough because it's a show that has so many main characters, and to try and service all of those characters in a really interesting fashion and driving the main story forwards, it's very difficult. And so my character was just kind of felt like he was always on the outer and just kind of played the role of the boyfriend for Daisy, one of the main characters. But ironically enough, the best storyline they gave me was my final arc, the last 2 episodes, and that was the best work that I did. And for those who didn't see it, I blew up in space.
When you find out that you're going to get killed off, what's the first thing that you do, other than call your agent and let them know that you're going to be open for a little while?
Yeah, email my people and say I'm free to audition. I think I went home and drank some beer. Because it's bittersweet. You're like, you create a family with these people, and that becomes your day-to-day life. And I was on the show for a year and a half or a year and a bit, and it really did feel like a family. And it was a really special environment, and so it really did become sad when I was filming my death scenes, which kind of probably helped the storyline because everyone was sad.
It's also kind of cool that you get to take part in a big moment for the show.
Absolutely.
Like, so many of those main characters are kind of going to ride the show out until it ends, and you get to take part in a sort of a big moment that fans really react to.
Well, exactly right. I think as an actor, you want to be a part of the dramatic storylines, and I mean, you'd probably prefer to be alive during those dramatic storylines. But if you're gonna die a hero. That's the best way to do it. And I saved the girl, saved the world, destroyed the supervillain, and blew up in space.
It doesn't look like Roman is heading that way, though.
No, but Sandstorm did have a giant rocket in season 2, so who knows? We may be heading to space. I've read up to episode 15, so the last 7 episodes could involve space. Who knows? No, I don't think so.
Did you just accidentally give something away?
No, no, we're not in space.
So Jamie was here just a couple weeks ago, and she was talking about some of the stunts that she's had to do and some injuries that she's sort of taken. What about you? How are you with stunts, and have you had any injuries?
I like stunts. I like to do as much as I can myself. Naturally, you always have a stunt double because there's always going to be a move that's slightly trickier than other things. And so if someone's going to get hurt, the stunt doubles are the ones that are paid to get hurt. If someone is going to get hurt, generally speaking.
You as the actor may have to be there tomorrow or the next day.
Exactly.
To shoot
Exactly.
Yeah.
As it turns out, I have been hurt on a couple of occasions. One on a previous show, I got punched in the face and taken to hospital to be stitched up.
It's not funny, but the phrase "punched in the face" makes me laugh.
No, it's a little funny.
Reason.
It's a little funny.
Can I ask who punched you?
It was this poor guy. It was his first day as the stunt double of this guest character. I was one of the main cast of a show called Tomorrow People, and we were rehearsing this fight scene. And we'd rehearsed it a bunch. And there's this one part of the fight where he's got to pretend to give me an uppercut, and I've got to react to it. And this one time, just before we started shooting, I don't know if he was a little closer to me or I was a little closer to him, but my head got actually uppercutted.
So like up like here?
Well, I actually got hit, I think, yeah, just above my eyebrow here. It wasn't hard. I didn't think I was, I was just like, oh no, I'm fine. And then everyone looked at me and went, and then just blood, just lots and lots of blood. So then they freaked out and took me to hospital and got stitches and then took me back to set and then I filmed the fight scene.
You filmed that same fight scene?
I did.
It was the same guy that hit you before, like, just 10 feet back and like...
I think he was a little more nervous than he was previously, but we got the scene done and no one else got hit, so that's good. But look, the thing in TV land, you just got to get it done, and it took a little bit of bravery on my part to jump back in and do it when you can't feel this section of your face because they've given you an injection and you're a little bit tender. But then and then last season, unfortunately, I sliced my hand open. There's a knife fight scene between Roman and Jane. Moral of the story, don't try to stab your sister. It'll just backfire or backslice. Or basically I severed the tendon in my pinky just here. And we didn't think it was so bad initially. And then the on-set medic was like, okay, now make a fist. And he's like, no, make a fist. I'm like, I'm trying. He's like, oh. So off to hospital I went and had to have surgery and spent my hiatus recovering.
You had to have surgery on your pinky.
Yes.
Such a strange thing to have surgery on.
It's a strange thing,
right?
and it sounds it's a funny injury because people are like, well, it's your pinky,
It's a tendon.
It's a tendon, exactly. And what I didn't discover until it had happened is you lose, like, your strength actually comes from the pinky side of the hand. Like, try and make a fist right now without bending your pinky. Go on, do it. Yeah, like how much weaker does your hand feel? And I mean,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So don't take your pinkies for granted, guys. That's what I learned.
No one goes slicing their pinky tendons, guys.
You need it. You need it.
How did you get started in acting, and how did you find yourself in the sort of action genre as well?
I started off a shy, skinny, pimply kid who was in desperate need of self-improvement. So I threw myself into an acting class to improve my self-confidence, basically. And each week I'd turn up and be absolutely crapping myself and trying to convince myself that I should just turn around and drive home. And each week I would be so exhilarated that I'd drive home on a high, and that cycle just kind of continued for 8 weeks or whatever the duration of the first acting course was. And I think I just got bit by the acting bug, and it was never, hey, I want to be an actor, or I'm going to make a living out of this. It was just, hey, I'm having fun, and this is good for me to get out of my comfort zone.
Do you still look to get out of your comfort zone with characters and scenes and
I mean,
moments?
every day I'm out of my comfort zone. That's kind of the beauty of acting. Every day is different. Certainly when you're playing a character like Roman, you literally never know what you're going to get. You get the next script and you're like, I do what now? Oh my, okay, cool. Let's try it. And that's what it is. Let's try it. Let's throw something against the wall and see what sticks.
That's what acting always is, right? It's get it on its feet. Let's see how it goes.
Totally.
Let's sort of see what we can do from there.
The writers do a fantastic job. They come up with a storyline. They come up with some dialogue, but they don't know what the actor's going to do with it. They don't know how it's going to sound coming out of the actor's mouth, especially when the actor's Australian and he's playing an American. Sometimes there are phrases that are just tricky to say. Yeah, so
What is a phrase that has been the trickiest for you to say as an Australian?
any phrase that has multiple R's or L's, any combination of R's and L's,
Do they in the writers' room every now and then? Do you think like too many R's and L's for Luke, guys? We gotta rewrite that line.
I don't know, maybe.
Do you ever approach them yourself and go too many R's and L's, guys?
No. I've come. I can't think of an example, but I've definitely come up against some lines that I've gone, I'm just not sure I'm going to be able to say this, and right up until the take, I will have failed at it every single time, and then I'll get it right once, and I'll be like, great, moving on.
With this season, you're not really around the regular cast as much at all. What is that like?
It's bittersweet. It's I'm doing some really cool stuff this season. I can't wait for the story to unfold. And I've only seen as much as the audience has seen, only 2 episodes. But I know what we've shot, and it's some really great stuff. So I'm not complaining. But I really genuinely get along with everyone in the cast, and it kind of sucks that I never get to work with them. Or if I do get to work with them, it probably means that one of us is going to die. So that's.
Or there's going to be like a knife fight
or a knife fight, or
like that.
something's about to go down. Yeah.
Let's get some questions from our audience here. Who has a question right here?
Hi, my name is Samantha, and I've been a fan of you since you played Will in H2O.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've grown up with pretty much all your work. And my question is, what is your favorite character you enjoyed playing the most?
Ooh, great question. Look, I've been so lucky with the characters I've got to play. My first lead role was Will on H2O, which is an Australian series where I played a freediver. And so I had to do a whole bunch of training to learn what freediving was all about, which is diving without the assistance of an air tank, basically. You get to wear a cool monofin. And I also got to swim with dolphins. I got to ride on a dolphin, which was...
You rode a dolphin?
I rode a dolphin. It's still surreal for me to say that sentence. And
you crying while you were doing it?
Yes, I was. I was just like, I can't believe I'm riding a dolphin.
That wasn't a joke question, I would imagine.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, we're in the water, so you couldn't tell if I was crying or not. But yeah, it was cool. We got to do a little bit above the water, not above the water, but on top of the water, and then we did it one underneath the water. And these things are so powerful, it's like holding on to the back of a boat. It's crazy. You really got to hold on. Anyway, I digress a little bit. That was an amazing role, obviously. John Young, playing John Young in Tomorrow People, which was my first kind of break in America, was, will kind of always have a special place in my heart. I love that character. I love the writing. I was very disappointed that the show didn't continue past 1 season, but thankful for the opportunities I've had since then. Playing Lincoln Campbell on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was really cool. Playing a superhero with electrical powers is, something that kids dream of doing. So that was rad. But right now, playing Roman is creatively the best experience of my life. They're just throwing so much at me, and when I think there's no more, they throw more at me. So yeah, I'm having the time of my life right now.
It must be incredible when writers throw stuff like that at you, that it's also a vote of confidence. We trust that you can do all of these things.
Well, at some point it becomes trust. I think initially it's let's see if he can do this.
Yeah.
And
that's the beginning when you first get cast, and then as they continue to throw crazy stuff at you.
It's an evolutionary kind of process. They don't know exactly how it's going to pan out. If it pans out well, they'll give you more stuff like that, or crazier stuff. If it doesn't pan out so well, you probably won't get more stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. You're getting more stuff, so it's panning out well.
Apparently, yeah.
Next question, right here.
Hi, Luke.
Hi.
I'm Callie with the Romans Theme Project. And so my question is, your character is, as you've been saying, is so complex and has so many different sides. What has surprised you the most as far as the fans' reaction, loving, hating the character?
The fans have been amazing because when you're playing a bad guy, when you're introduced as a bad guy, you kind of, I don't know, it's my first time kind of playing a bad guy, and so I was just naturally bracing for an onslaught of negativity online, I guess, coming onto an established cast where everyone already has their favorites. But pretty much from the first episode, just had a lot of really great fan responses, and so that was surprising but really heartwarming as well to see that they're getting to see, even though I'm playing a bad guy, there's a lot more going on than, it's not just black and white.
I think we have time for one more question. Oh, hey, right here.
Hi, I'm Carrie.
Hi.
So you're obviously from Australia, which is very far away.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about moving to New York?
I mean, it's New York. It's really great.
Sorry, good try. Good try.
Look, I love the people of New York. When I first came here, it was just like everywhere I walked, it was like, oh my God, this is from this movie, this is from that movie. Like it's so surreal, and I still have moments like that. Even like I've been here a year and a half now. I mean, I've been living in America for 5 years, but only based in New York for a year and a half for the duration of this show. And I'd been to New York previously, but coming to New York for just a week or two or just a weekend is very different from living here. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's kind of a big city. There's just so much to explore. I've made some really great friends here, and they have stories of they still don't know every nook of this city. So like just running into people and getting suggestions of a cool coffee place, or I love coffee, or like a rad new bar, or like an old jazz club. There's just so much more history here. I also like its proximity to Europe. It's only a 6-hour flight, so my wife and I have family in England, so it's it's really, really much easier to get there.
What's your go-to coffee spot? Maybe not your go-to, your favorite coffee. And do you drink like coffee black, or do you drink espresso?
It depends on the time of day, and it depends on how badly I need the coffee. I'll take it in all forms. Espresso mainly. I love a latte, but that's a bit more luxurious. That's something I'll indulge in on the weekends.
But you're an espresso lover. Usually an espresso lover means that, you like really love coffee. You love the way you pay attention to the tamp and when they put it in and everything that's going on in the machine. Do you do that? I was a barista, guys. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Ish. Yeah, I guess I'm getting there. Like I can appreciate a good espresso, and I know about espresso, but I don't really pay attention to what the baristas are actually doing. But I know which barista is a good barista and which one is not a good barista, and I steer clear of the bad baristas.
How do you know that?
Are you wondering if I'm judging you right now? No, just
I'm retired. I'm a retired barista, so.
So you're a little rusty. So if we put you to
rusty.
the test, yeah. No, just based on if I go on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and on the Monday the particular coffee wasn't very good, I'll note the barista, and then I'll walk past the next day and be like, no, I can't have a coffee from here because that barista is working. Yeah.
Luke, it's been a pleasure talking to you, man. Blindspot on tonight. It's the 3rd episode of the 3rd season.
That's right.
Tonight, right? What time is Blindspot on again?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. NBC Friday nights. Luke Mitchell, everybody, give it up.
Thank you very much, guys.